Hey, welcome to Digging into the Bible. My name is Jim Barnard. This is a production of Tiller Coaching. Okay, it's day 46, and yesterday we saw how the council had produced this letter to the Gentiles. Basically, the council met together. It's a group of apostles and elders and disciples that are debating this issue of circumcision. And, they had no small dissension over this. And they came up with the conclusion that no, it doesn't make sense. You do not need to be circumcised in order to be a Christian, in order to be a Christ follower, in order to be part of the way. Now they're suggesting 4 things that are really good for unity in the church as we bring believing Jews and believing Gentiles together. So Gentiles, these 4 things would, if you follow them, it will make all of this easier. So they're not just sending this letter off by Pony Express. They are sending it with reputable men to deliver the message effectively, namely Paul and Barnabas. They went down to Antioch. They shared the news there. There was much rejoicing. And now Paul and Barnabas are about to set off on their second missionary journey together, or so they think. With that as the backdrop, let's go ahead and dig in. This is Acts chapter 15, starting at verse 36. And after some days, Paul said to Barnabas, "Let us return and visit the brothers in every city where we proclaim the word of the Lord, and see how they are." Now Barnabas wanted to take with them John called Mark, but Paul thought it best not to take with them one who had withdrawn from them in Pamphylia and had not gone with them to the work. And there arose a sharp disagreement, so that they separated from each other. Barnabas took Mark with him and sailed away to Cyprus. But Paul chose Silas and departed, having been commended by the brothers to the grace of the Lord. And he went through Syria and Cilicia, strengthening the churches. Okay, so back in Acts chapter 13, this is verse 13, we see what happened, and it's unremarkable what happened with John Mark. Verse says this, "Now Paul and his companions set sail from Paphos and came to Perga in Pamphylia, and John left them and returned to Jerusalem." And then that's it, and then the story goes on, and there's not much, seemingly not a lot of discord that's happening in this narrative. Like maybe news got to John Mark that there's some issue in his family or some emergency, or I don't know, maybe he's homesick. I mean, who knows? But it doesn't seem like this is like an issue of strife in that moment. Otherwise, I feel like Luke would have written about it. But now it seems to be an issue. Paul is, maybe he's just real A-type personality, and we just need everyone that's going with us that are all in, which does kind of make sense. Like they're going to be traveling through all these cities that they faced great persecution at. I mean, heck, Paul got stoned in Lystra. They're headed to Lystra. They're going back there. Like if you're not all in on this, maybe this isn't for you. I don't know. It seems like there's more to this story, don't you think? That maybe like Paul is questioning John Mark's motives, or just his like desire for this mission, for this journey itself. And I don't know. So John Mark, he's the guy that wrote the Gospel of Mark, and you think that like, okay, well this man is a hero of the faith. Like it must have been a good reason that he left. And I don't know, there's just no like hard evidence about what happened. But I love this statement. There arose a sharp disagreement. So they had a fight. And man, I was telling someone today, as I was coaching, just how much I really struggle with conflict. I really don't like it. I would like to avoid it at all costs. But man, sometimes conflict, these sharp disagreements aren't the worst thing. They really can make us better. It's these things that, where we see iron sharpening iron. Like iron sharpening iron is not like me hanging out with the boys doing Topgolf or whatever. There's hard like grinding and effort that happens in that process. And frankly, I picture that looking more like fighting and conflict than I do like accountability and kicking it. So I actually don't view this as a bad thing. I think Barnabas served Paul really well on his first missionary journey. He gave him a lot of credibility. Remember, Barnabas was the one that gave Paul credibility to the apostles when they didn't want to meet with him. They were like, no, this guy's bad news. We're not about that. Barnabas was really good for Paul. And now they're actually able to separate, divide, and conquer. So I don't actually view this as a bad thing. For the sake of the kingdom, for the sake of the way, I think this is a really good thing. So that's what we have for today. Tomorrow we start Acts chapter 16. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you then.